Don't just live for tomorrow, or just live in yesterday. Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to episode 13 of Free Season 2, aka Eternal Summer. This is the finale. This is the final episode of the season, and I'm interested to see how it's going to end, but I'm a little disappointed in how it has been going for this final act, I guess you could say, of this season, because the big thing has been, and I talked about this last time, but the big thing has been about Haru, especially Haru, trying to get himself figured out before graduation, about what he's going to do, about what his dreams and goals are, about what his plans are after high school. It's been a big thing this entire time, and the big revelation, the big moment in last episode of him figuring that out was such a letdown, because it was exactly what we already expected of him. It was what we already knew he was going to do, knew what he was going to pursue and everything. It didn't come as a surprise. It didn't come as anything special. It felt weak. Because, again, it's not even so much like, oh, the viewers know this, but the characters don't. No, the characters very much knew this the entire time. This was an integral part of his character the entire time. So to kind of treat it here as like it's some kind of big reveal or big revelation for him to realize this is what he wants to do with his life, it's like, it makes no sense. Like, even if you wanted to play up the idea that he might have forgotten that or strayed from that a little bit, which he didn't stray from that idea or belief. But even if you want to say that maybe he kind of like might have forgotten his motivations, his goals, his ideas, which I don't think he did. But even if you want to say that he did, it's still not a big revelation. It's not a big, like, kind of satisfying conclusion for his character arc this season. Like, all these other characters got very satisfying conclusions to their arcs. Even if some of them were just small miniature arcs that lasted an episode or two. But like even Sosuke got a very satisfactory conclusion to his arc. And everyone else has been doing really well. And then there's Haru, who is arguably the main character of the series. It's complicated if you really want to call him that, because all the characters kind of share the spotlight just as equally, but he's kind of always read that way. But considering that, to have his reveal be, well, not a reveal at all, it just felt off to me. And maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just how I viewed it, and I don't know. But again, like, this has been his character since episode 1 of season 1. So it just feels completely pointless to have gone through this entire character arc just to come to a realization that he wasn't even realizing, because he already knew it and everyone else already knew it. I don't know, it makes no sense. Maybe this episode will expand on things, maybe it'll reveal like there's more to it, but I don't really see how there can be. It's such a simple goal in and of itself, it's such a simple idea in and of itself. So it's like, I don't really see how they're going to notably improve this ending to his arc in this season. It just feels like they could have done so much more with him. Hell, made him realize that he does want more out of life, and that maybe he realizes there's something else specifically that he would be interested in. That would have been so much better. But just for the reveal to be, oh, I love swimming, I'm passionate about swimming. That's what my life's purpose is. Oh my god, it's such a big surprise. No, it's fucking not. Everyone knew your life purpose was swimming. Everyone knew that was your passion. That and mackerel. No one is surprised by this. Like, my god. I'm sorry if I seem upset by this, but I was upset when this was the reveal. I am upset about this. And as you guys know, I pre-record things. I've been putting this off on pre-recording for a couple days now because I've been irritated since the last reaction, and I've been trying to kind of like make myself get back into this. It threw me off that much by how ridiculous that was. It's just it's so goddamn like pointless. Again, maybe they'll expand upon it in this episode, and hopefully they will. And I'm not saying this to like try and like say that I don't like this series anymore or whatnot. That's very much untrue. I do like this series still, but I will not deny that that really bothered me to a notable degree. And it doesn't ruin the series. It doesn't even ruin the season, but it did notably bother me. And again, maybe it's just me, um, but yeah. So we are finishing off the season though, and so that raises the question as to what will replace Free Season 2 in the Friday slot. And I don't actually know if I talked about this like last week or anything. Um, but I have been talking about this in recent videos. I think I talked about it last week. I think I would have had to. But I've been talking about it in recent videos in general. And so one of the things is after Free, I was going to get back to Pandora Hearts. Just in case I forgot to mention this, I don't remember. But I was going to get back to Pandora Hearts because it's been a while, and that was the deal. I was taking off of Pandora Hearts for a little, taking a break, getting to Free Season 2, and then I'd be coming back. Well, time kind of crept up on me, and there are two different shows for this coming anime season that starts like pretty much this weekend actually. And these two shows I want to react to, and I want to get to them. I don't want to put them off. Um, and they're Shaman King 2021 and My Hero Season 5. And so I have to hold off on shows I was supposed to be getting back to soon in order to get to these. And it sucks, but both Digimon Adventure 2020 and Pandora Hearts will return. But for the moment, for the Friday slot specifically, we will be moving on to My Hero Academia Season 5 because that starts this weekend. So it literally works out perfectly in terms of timing. So that by next Friday, the episode will already be out and I'll be able to post my reaction for it. um, so yeah, that will be replacing Free Season 2 right away. Um, but we should probably get on with this finale because even now I'm trying to put it off. I'm just talking in order to kind of just procrastinate. Um, and again, I want to make it clear. It's not that I don't like the show anymore. It's not that I don't want to see how this ends. I very much do. I just that just bothered me to such a degree that it's been making me like not want to get to it. It's just been making me procrastinate. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we will be getting to that. And Cannon Busters for Monday's slot. This next Monday will be the final Cannon Busters, and then the Monday after that, we will get to Shaman King 2021 because just counting as to when the series comes out and everything, it works out pretty much perfectly at this point. So, anyways, again, back to the topic. We're just going to get on with this so I don't procrastinate any longer. So, when the screen fades black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So, that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So, first off, I was looking through things just to see exactly how many seasons and stuff there are. Apparently, there is an OVA for this season as well, but it's, from what I've gathered, non-canon filler, and it's not important to anything. It doesn't really add anything. It's not necessary. But I will still be reacting to, because as I've said in the past, I don't skip things. But since it's an OVA, it will get its own reaction sometime in the future between seasons 2 and 3. It'll happen sometime before I start season 3. I don't know when, but I will get to it, provided I don't forget. So hopefully you guys remind me. This finale was there's two things to it. It's perfect, except for the Haru issue. And I'll talk about that again in a second, but I've been talking about it pretty much this entire time, even in the pre-thoughts and everything. But I'll talk about it again in a second. Let's talk about the rest. So, we see the final race, the final relay. We see that they finish well, they do great, and they accomplish their goals. We see the swimming motifs with their animals, or the swimming with their animal motifs, and this big kind of celebratory tear-filled hug at the end, which, as you see, I used in the thumbnail. And we even get to see them burying a time capsule for the future, and a brief glimpse into the future of their activities, of Haru and Makoto in college, of Nagisa and Rei continuing on with the club at Iwatobi with the new recruits, and we even get to see Haru and Rin competing again sometime in the future. We don't know how far into the future it is, but sometime in the future, at the college level, they're competing again. Which, of course, they are. It feels like such just an absolutely perfect ending that I don't think it needed more. Like, I don't know how season 3 goes. I don't know how good it is. It might be very good, but I don't think it feels, at this point, from my perspective, at this point, it doesn't feel necessary. Season 2's finale felt like a series finale. It felt like the final episode of this entire thing. Like, there just didn't need to be any more. Like, yeah, of course there's room for more, but there doesn't need to be. It feels like so just finite, so finalized. It just feels like this was the end. So, if season three does go into the new recruits being brought into the swim club by Nagisa and Ray and all, like I'm sure again it could be very good. As well as Nitori now being the head of the Samezaka team and everything, like that could all be great. I fully acknowledge that, but it feels so unnecessary to go more into that. I just feel like it was such a perfect final conclusion. Everything felt wrapped up. There just didn't need to be more. It just kind of feels like the perfect series finale. That's all I'm saying. But there is the Haru issue, and I do want to address that again. So I was wondering in my pre thoughts whether or not this episode would expand upon that enough to make me understand what they were trying to go for. And it didn't. Like, it tried to like go with this entire thing about like, oh, I learned how to I learned to focus more on the technical aspects, the competitive aspects, because it helps me with my goal of wanting to swim. My dream is just continuing to swim as much as I can because I love swimming. I have a passion for swimming, but I just wasn't into the competitive aspect as much. And now I understand that that'll help me. And it's like, sure, I get that, but that doesn't actually give any kind of satisfying conclusion to his character arc. Every other character, literally every other character, had a satisfying conclusion, except him. Um, and I guess except the ones who didn't really have a big ongoing character arc, like Go. She didn't have a big character arc. She didn't need one. It wasn't the point. Same with the teacher and Coach Sasabe. I can never remember the teacher's name. But neither of them needed a character arc. No. That wasn't the point. So it's like, yeah, they didn't get one, but they were fine. There wasn't anything built up, so there wasn't anything to be disappointed by. But Haru, like, this entire season had this big thing going on, and the conclusion is just like, oh, I'm just gonna keep like doing what I've been doing, just better. And it's like, whoop de doo. Like, it just feels so unsatisfying for that to be the conclusion of this season for him. And again, especially with the finale itself, the rest of the finale and the way it was set up, the way it was um, expressed through the animation, the music, the voice acting, it felt like a series finale. And even though it didn't end up being, at this point, I don't know if like they had announced a third season. It just feels like he didn't get a proper conclusion. And considering again that he's kind of the main character, if you want to look at it that way, and even if you don't, even if you consider all four of them like equally as important, and Rin as well, um, all five of them, then it's like, even so, it still shows that he's just, it just didn't do anything in the end to actually give him a conclusion at all, really, to this character arc. I don't know how else to put it. It just felt disappointing. But it was really the only part of this that disappointed me that way. Everything else just worked out so well. Everything else, especially in this episode, just so perfectly wrapped up and concluded. Again, with all the animation, the voice acting, the music, the animal motif scene, all of it just felt so perfect. And even despite my issues with the Haru part, it doesn't hurt my overall enjoyment of the season. As I said in the pre-thoughts, it's like that doesn't stop me from enjoying the season or the series. I still love this series. And as I've stated before, it's still wild to me that it's like when I started season one, when I started my reactions to that, I did not think I was going to like this at all. I expected to drop it. Not just that I thought I might, I expected to. I hoped I wouldn't, of course, but I expected to because I thought it was just going to be, you know, male fan service and shallow characters and, just a very stereotypical sports anime. The same kind of bullshit they pull in all of those sports anime. You get the gist. It ended up being something really special with really in-depth, likable characters, a lot of great storylines and character arcs. And even though it's not perfect and it didn't hit the landing with everyone, it still did so fucking well and so much better than I could have ever thought. And I know I'm late on this train compared to a lot of other people. I had known about this series years and years before I ever checked it out. And I'm glad I finally did, though. And I'm excited for when I do get to season 3. But we will be taking a break, obviously. I mentioned this in the pre-thoughts as well, but we will be moving on next week right away to My Hero Academia Season 5. So that will be an ongoing as it airs series, and we'll just take it as it goes. But we will eventually come back to this. I hope it won't be as long of a wait as it was between seasons 1 and 2. But I can't promise when I'll get back to it. It's not just going to be like, oh, I'll get back to it after My Hero. I don't know if that's going to be the case right now. I might want to do some other stuff too. We'll see. Now, I know there's another movie. I reacted to one movie already. And I believe I was told the second movie I had to wait until after season 2. But I don't know how accurate that is. If anyone could let me know, maybe, if I can watch the second movie, because that might be good for a future reaction coming up sometime in the coming weeks or months or whatever. Let me know. And again, I will try my damnedest to get to the OVA before I do season 3. Please, like if I announce season 3 and haven't gotten to that yet, remind me and I can do a reaction to that beforehand. But yeah, I am excited for more of this sometime and down in the future. But for now, this is the end of Free Season 2, Eternal Summer. And I hope that you guys enjoyed these reactions as much as I enjoyed recording them. And I hope that you're excited for the return of My Hero Academia. It's been 2 years. There wasn't any My Hero seasons last year. Outside of continuing or finishing the last season. The last season ended at the beginning of last year. But still, we didn't get any new season last year because of COVID happening and everything, so it was pushed to this year, and we're finally getting it though. We're finally getting it. I also think it was pushed to this year because they wanted to wait a little and have more of the manga to work off of. I might be, or at least build a gap between. I might be a little off about that. I don't know exactly what the reasons were for it, but yeah. I'm excited to get to it either way. I'll talk more about that in the actual first episode reaction, though. So, yeah, thank you once again for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.